Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Super Mario 64, Part 9, I think. Part 9. I'm probably, in between the last episode and now, I probably should have checked that, huh? Welcome back to what I'm pretty sure is Part 9 of Super Mario 64. In the last episode, we had a bit more struggles with Wet Dry World. Some that really defined an episode, man. But we also cleared out a bit of Tall Mountain. One star in particular we did struggle with a tad, but to be honest with you, it wasn't that bad. That wasn't... Oh, no, I know which one this is. Okay, no. I know this one. So yeah, but I talked to you guys a little about this at the end of last episode, but in the process of how, I guess, embarrassing to some extent my performance has been in these last two episodes, it has definitely been a little jarring trying to figure out how to handle said embarrassment while still carrying, an entertaining, I guess, outlook on things, right? It's definitely been a little difficult, just mainly because I'm very much used to, up to this point, with the Let's Plays that we've done, I'm very used to not getting caught up on struggle-heavy things too long. I mean, Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, there have been some occasions with it, but I feel Mario 64 has been a tougher case of, just overall skill issues, which I know I could sit here and jokingly blame the latency and everything, but even though it does genuinely, there we go, even though it does genuinely play a part into it and it has made things a lot tougher, I also feel as if I could simply just adapt in a lot of cases. That wasn't the star. Okay, so I know which one they're looking for now. Yeah, we've boiled it down. So, yeah, I don't know. Adjusting to that stuff has definitely been a little difficult. But this episode and maybe the next should be a lot tamer on me, I think. I think they should be a lot tamer on me if we're doing this level and then the next level that I do have planned, which is... I don't really feel like we got to keep it too secret. We're going to be... So I'm taking the shortcut method. I'm going to be tackling Snowman's Land after this star because, quite frankly, I really like Snowman's Land, and I'm not exactly sure... It's actually definitely out of order. Snowman's Land, I think, is like course 10. But I'm tackling Snowman's Land next because it is simply an easier star for me. If I wanted to kind of indulge in more troublesome star stuff, I would have chose Tiny Huge Island. But we're going to tackle Tiny Huge Island after Snowman's Land, which is... Whoa! I was ready for the domino effect, dude. That set of cannonballs, just for the record, is ruthless. They are very, very unforgiving. So you would be very... I full-blown thought I was falling there. So we have to go down a bit of a secret slide in this level. You want to guess where that slide is? Because, I mean, you've seen most of the level up to this point. Yeah, okay, it's this wall. Yeah, the Shifting Sandland painting does. Fun little fact about this slide, by the way, that I want to point out is that this slide was originally going to be the Cool Mountain slide in the beta versions of this game, but ended up getting switched out for Tall Mountain's slide. And I do think that... Whoa! The overall vibe of this slide fits Tall Mountain a little better. It's kind of weird, I would argue. This is a very weird-looking slide. It's a fun slide, though. Definitely a bit more challenge-heavy than any other slide thing we've been used to up to this point, whether it's the Cool Mountain slide or the Peach's Secret slide, whatever, things of that nature. It's definitely been a bit tougher, but hey, as you can see, spit us out to this little side area. If I wanted to, we could have made that a way quicker star, by the way. I say this because that little shortcut I do to get up to the portion of the level where the Chuckya is, you can actually just jump down from around where the Chuckya normally spawns and just jump and then kick back into that area. You don't have to do the slide at all, and it's very, very funny. We're going to go ahead and do Snowman's Land next. Snowman's Land is one that I'll definitely do in order with the stars. This first star is, it's a little rough, I would argue. It's a tad rough, but I don't think it's egregiously bad or anything. I think it is just a little, like, it's a little jank. You know, something that I heard. I have a friend of mine who, she is not particularly the biggest Mario 64 fan, and one of her biggest complaints that she always described with the game is that the early levels are really, really good, but the later levels of this game get very, very weird and a lot more inconsistent with the way some of their stuff is structured. I really, really enjoyed this game. I think this game is one of my favorite Mario games of all time. But I don't entirely disagree with her statement, is the funny thing. I find that the upper, the basement, I think they do completely fine on the basement and everything as well. Dire Docks is a little strange sometimes, but for the most part, it is definitely okay. This upper floor is kind of weird. I feel like they had a really weird set of issues when learning how to, structure courses that are on this stage of the game. You know what I mean? Some of them are good. I think Snowman's Land is pretty good. Wet Dry World, I think, mostly has a good concept, but it's a slog to navigate around. You know the Sisyphus pushing up a boulder meme? That's what Wet Dry World feels like. Chill with the bully. So I want to see if I can do the trick with this. I've seen this done in speedruns, and it's really funny. Nope. There's a trick where you can actually... That was really easy, by the way. Yes, you literally just get like a Lethal Lava Land type star in this. There's a trick you can do where you long jump to the bully's platform, and then shortly after you land, you get yourself into a duck position, and since you're on icy physics, you're sliding, and for some reason, when you get into a combination of ducking and sliding for long enough before colliding with the bully, you're just infinitely pushing him. And it's really fun to do. I'm kind of inconsistent about it. In the Deep Freeze, I don't exactly remember which one this is supposed to be. No, actually, I think I know which one it's supposed to be. It's a very fun one to perform, by the way. You're supposed to get over to this little area over here, which I believe there's multiple ways, but the way I always do, you just do this. Makes life a little easy, and then you just get this. You can definitely tell, I think, by this point in the game, they get a little more, like, kind of grabbing at straws for some of the star ideas in this game. And I listen, oh, that's actually not the one they're talking about. Which one are they talking about? Oh, wait, I know which one they're talking about. Okay. I don't know what exactly the intended way of doing this one is, but I'm going to do this one the way that I know how to do it. So you have this little, like, block maze thing. You can kind of just side flip from there. It's a little hard to get because it's kind of crammed, and then you just jump down here. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if that's the intended way to do it, though. I think they intended for you to have a bit of a maze, going through a little tiny maze with it. But to be quite frank, I don't think all that struggle is very necessary. Okay, shell shredding for red coins. So this one is your red coin star. This one's fun. It's a very quick red coin star, but it's a fun one. Oh god, my nose is... I'm having those weird things. Do you have those weird things where when your sinuses, they vibrate a lot, and then your nose gets like a bunch of tickling vibrate? I know that sounds really strange, but I'm like going through it right now. And it's bad. No, I'm not collecting this star again. By the way, we're at 81 stars, kind of crazy. We're going to pick up this shell real quick, ride a bit of this shell, and you'll notice, starting from here, we can kind of just go on a spree of getting a bunch of the red coins that we need. So we just do a little... Okay, well, latency is going to make this a lot less smooth sailing, you know. We're going to get this one over here. There is 2 underneath the bullies arena, and then there is 1 over here. It is. I would argue that is the most like short but sweet set of red coins, other than Lethal Lava Land. Lethal Lava Lands is, I think, very much that case, to be honest. But it is a very fun. I mean, it is a very fun set of silver coins. Dude, I'm still on Diddy Kong Racing, apparently. It is a very fun set of red coins to go through. So now we're going to be going into an igloo. How does that sound, fellas? We're going to be going into an igloo, which I know what you're thinking. Ava, I haven't seen an igloo around. Where's there an igloo? So there's a way that I normally get up here that is a bit of a shortcut method, but I'm going to do it the way that I believe the devs intended for you to get it. So what you're going to do, if I can do it correctly, I'm going to lure you over here. Or maybe I'm not. Hold on. Well, you know... That's one way of doing it. Okay, let's try this again, because you're actually... Yeah, there we go. So we're going to be getting this shell again, because what we're going to be doing is there's this little hill area over by the little ramps here. You go up it... Oh, hopefully if I don't crash. Oh, no! Okay, let's just realign ourselves. We go here. Oh, that's not where it ended. Does that respawn? That might not respawn. I'm going to exit course for that, because I actually don't know if that respawns or not. There might not be any need to respawn, realistically, but I'm doing it strictly just because I normally get that a lot more efficiently. Well, in terms of the intended way to get up to this igloo, I'm not as experienced in that regard because I'm used to doing the speedrun route. I think this late game is really showing my lack of knowledge on the pure late game of this game, because as I told you guys before, I don't 100% this game very often. It's I've actually very few. I've only probably 100%ed this game maybe three or four times, I think. And I think my knowledge of some aspects of the way, playing the game the way it's intended, even for the stuff that I normally do up here, my lack of knowledge for some stuff is really showing in these recent episodes, man. And it is rough. So you have to jump on up here to this little fenced-in area with an igloo, and from here, little move they never have you use up to this point is this little crawl move. You just kind of duck and move around, and you can just kind of crawl into this igloo. If it would... That looked really jank. So, now you have this weird little area with a bunch of little... Like a little maze area where there's a bunch of stuff in here. First of all, if you ever wanted to get... If you ever wanted to get one of these stars through a cannon, which I do believe one of the stars is intended... Maybe that Into the Deep Freeze star is potentially intended for such a thing, but... if you ever wanted to get the cannon, Pink Bomb Buddy in here for you to do that. But our goal is that we have to get that star that is encased in there, but of course that is a solid wall. Well, good news... Okay, bad news first, I'm going the wrong way. Good news now is that if you go over here to where the Vanish Cap is, you can kind of backflip into this if you want. We're going to get the Vanish Cap, and the Vanish Cap does actually let you go through these walls. So if you don't have the Vanish Cap, you can't do this star. And you can just kind of get on up there that way. I don't normally do this star in my 70-star route. I do a lot of Snowman's Land. I think I do every star in Snowman's Land except for this star. But this star is realistically not that bad, honestly. It's not that bad, even if, you know, you don't know much about it. So, we're 14 minutes in. That's gonna do it for all of Snowman's Land, but we're not gonna, I think, end this episode off just yet. We're gonna be going into another level that I think might have the potential to be a little troublesome, but I'm actually not too sure. Tiny Huge Island. So, this level is very big on its gimmick. If you don't know, I went into a small painting there, but on the other side, you know, complete opposite side of the room from the painting I went in, there is a huge version of the painting. Basically, depending on what size painting you go through, the level will be bigger or smaller like this. So right now, we are in the smaller form of it. I'm also dying in the smaller form of it. Pretty much everything is the same, for the most part. And there are certain stars that require you to go to different variants of the map as they contain specific things, right? So I have always really enjoyed this mechanic. I think the practicality of some aspects of this can be a little tedious, but I used to give this this level a lot more flack. I think it's honestly fine. It just takes a little bit of time. I don't think it's one that I'm necessarily going to struggle with a ton. This first star here is you have to go to the bigger area of Tiny Huge Island. You have to go to the huge part and defeat these little 5 piranha plants that are located here on this part of it. Typically what I always do, by the way, when I'm trying to navigate, because of getting from spawn over there, because you spawn in the same sort of area in the big area, in order to get over to this area quicker, I always just kind of default to go into the tiny area first, and then if I want to get to a huge area, I just go through a pipe. I just go through a pipe because I find that it is a bit of an easier process. I think we can get another star done. What's the next one? To the top of the huge island. So this one, I believe, requires that you're also... Yeah, I mean, huge island. It requires that you're in huge mode. So we're gonna actually do a little bit of a shortcut here. They intend for you to get up here a little bit of a different way, but if you want to get up to this top area, you can just kind of triple jump up there, and there is a pipe here that you can use. I've been doing a lot more commentary on the game itself these last 2 or 3 episodes because I think I'm just like trying to recall all this to myself. So it's not even just as much for you guys, it's for my sake. So you got this little bridge area that you can pass, and we are going to be getting this little box right here, which gives us a star. You'll love to see it. Star 85. It's kind of crazy to think we are 15 stars away from triple digits. And then after that, we will only be 20 stars away from beating this whole game. Kind of crazy how it works. What's the next star? Okay, so this is a nice one. I'm going to go ahead and do this one. Yes, your eyes do not deceive you. We are about to do a rematch with Koopa the Quick. After, you know... What course is this? After 12 levels. I don't know why I'm framing that like it's the most exciting thing in the world. It's fine, you know. There's I always remember being kind of excitable for some reason about the concept of rematching Koopa the Quick. This is a much shorter race than the Bob-omb Battlefield one. Can I get my angle right? Is that at all possible, or are we gonna... We might have a... What did you bonk on, man? What was there to bonk on? I didn't jump or anything. I'm gonna do... there we go. Okay, and then we're gonna... Yeah. So, kind of crazy thing. You have this, like, Koopa enemy in the small version. That's not the one we're looking for. Oh, there's also... Probably just noticed there's a secret. There's 5 secrets in this level as well. I think they are all located in the small area, but we'll get to that in a different episode. So, over by where the small Koopa was, we now have the Koopa the Quick. Whoa, long time no see. And wow, how have you gotten... I'm not reading this out, dude. It's, you know, again, it's like the hand thing. It's like I choose to read all these different... Crazy start. Yeah, you got a little head start. I choose to read all... not all. I choose to read... no parts of the game's dialogue for the most part. But then I read out the second Koopa the Quick match and the hand boss from Shifting Sandlands dialogue. You know, my priorities, they're, one could say they're a bit in check. We just barely, won. He does stay pretty close to you, so if you, really fumble it, it tends to be pretty rough. A lot of people, I don't think, end up losing to this Koopa the Quick race. They just kind of end up dying at that bridge area because of the gust, if anything. Can be a bit of a peculiar issue, if you will. But, yeah, 86 stars. Anyways, fellas, that is going to do it for this episode. We'll keep it on pause. That is going to do it for this episode of Super Mario 64 Part 9. A bit of a better episode, I would say. We had a little more peace with just, I believe it was finishing off the last little bit of Tiny Huge Island that we had. We got to go do Snowman's Land, which was overall very smooth sailing. Probably the most smooth sailing level that we've had on the upper floor thus far. And we started on Tiny Huge Island, and so far the Tiny Huge Island stars have not been much of a trouble. The first 3, they haven't been that much of a trouble. I don't think Tiny Huge Island will be that big of a deal overall, but it may be a little bit of a nuisance. But we've got some special areas to go up to, by the way, after we're done with Tiny Huge Island, so stay tuned for that. I'm not going to be recording, I don't think, anymore this today, but maybe later today I will. I don't know. Anyways, fellas, that's going to do it for this episode. Hey, you guys enjoyed this video, maybe like, comment, subscribe. I don't know, it's your life, do what you want. I don't really care. And I will see you fellas in the next video. Bye-bye, guys!